Good morning, Turfs Up Radio. Wayne Bowles, Profits Unlimited, coming to you live from Louisville, Kentucky. Yes, indeedy. Oh, my goodness. We got a great show planned today. We're going to talk about a lot of things, as always, but we're going to talk about one of the major components of my show today is going to be funny things that clients say. That's probably going to be the truth bomb. Unless, of course, y'all give me something new like we always do as y'all start texting in and getting our ideas really rocking and rolling. But, if you had one chance, one opportunity, would you take it? Or are you just going to let it slip away? Well, I don't think anybody listening to us here on Turfs Up Radio is letting anything slip away. I know I'm not, you're not. So, hey, there we go. That's what it amounts to. So, nothing slipping away here today. Yes, indeedy. Oh, my goodness. But hey, I hope everybody's got a good week going. Weather is crazy nice today here in Louisville, Kentucky. Hope it's nice where you're at. We had a little bit of rain yesterday. We had a lot of rain this week. I think we had like 3.4 inches of rain over the course of the week, but worked out pretty good. I mean, we never lost a full day of production. I want to give a big shout out to my buddies at BAM Weather for giving us some solid advice yesterday. Yesterday, and that we reached out for a little bit of help on should we go or should we stay. So yeah, they gave us some good advice on what they thought was going to happen, and worked out pretty good for us, and went ahead and sent them out. My whole thing, you know, yeah, Mike said Bam really came through on the rain order that he put in. So we'll have to let old Brett Waltz know that it worked. We'll get them on one day next week with us too. Got a special guest on with us today, and we'll get that going here in a minute. But oh my gosh, I'm just looking forward to the day, the great weather outside. Hope you guys have had an outstanding week. I know our week here at WLS has been really, really good week. Really good week. We got a lot of work done, a lot of renovations done. Um, that rain really helped with being able to get a good quality job in without having to worry about the consumer watering to get it ready. Now, if they want to water afterwards, that's up to them. We're actually going to talk about that. That is going to be part of our truth bomb today. But Mother Nature has certainly got everything in good position for us to be successful on getting the work done anyway. So looking forward to making more progress on that today. We're doing a few of those today. But as always, it's Friday, and Friday's our early day here at WLS. And today, good morning, Seth. Glad to have you back with us, man. And you hope your hunting trip went good. But yeah, man, it was really going good. We had 1 yard that we couldn't do yesterday, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But other than that, man, fire seeding and kill outs are rolling along. That's what we're into today, actually, doing a few more. We're going to try to get, I don't know, several done today. And I don't know, probably cut out of here by, I'd say maybe 2 o'clock, something like that. I don't know. We don't have a firm time set. We just leave when we get done what we want to get done. Want to give Jeopardy a big shout out, one of our technicians here. She's probably not had a baby yet, but I think they were inducing her at 5 o'clock a.m. this morning. So I think we're going to have a new addition to the family here at some point, probably pretty soon. So looking forward to getting some news from her on that. I know she's looking forward to not being pregnant any longer. I know that. So she said she was ready, and this was her second. And she's going to have two. She's going to have another girl, so that'll give her two girls. So, and I think Mari's looking forward to having a sister hanging around with them. So, good luck, Jeopardy, and hope all that's going well for you all and your family as you bring your daughter into the world officially. Da 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 da. So yeah, looking forward. And if we don't hear from her, we'll reach out because, I mean, I know how it is being a father of four. Never went through labor, obviously, but don't want to. And, but yeah, definitely she's got the hardest part. Give you women all the respect in the world on that. They got the hardest part of that whole situation, getting everything here, bringing a new life into the world. So, but hey, hopefully you guys got a rock and roll day going. Hope you had a rock and roll week. Hope profit dollars are good this week. And yeah, that's what it's all about. One shot, one opportunity. You going to take it or you going to let it slip away? So, um, yeah, Mike said definitely the rain's going to help pull better plugs. So yeah, even with hydraulic down pressure on our machine, and I don't know what kind of machines you guys use, but it still just feels better, man, running that machine when you're getting good access, and pulling that plug and just, giving your customer what is a great job. And, if you're doing aerating or, slit seeding, and we're going to talk about slit seeding. That's going to be part of our truth bomb today. But yeah, that's the way it is. And Seth, I'm glad to have you back with us too, my friend. And looks like y'all had a bang up time out there in Colorado. And without further ado, we're going to take a short break and come back, get into our show, and we'll go on from there and see where it takes us for the next 52 minutes and 19 seconds. We'll be right back with more Profit Time here on Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station. Yes, indeedy. Welcome back to Profit Time here on Turfs Up Radio. Like to welcome Craig as a new listener. Got a new listener in Australia, I believe, is where Craig was from. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. So, and also I'd like to welcome Daniel back. Daniel, glad to have you back on, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh man, we missed you. I'll tell you that. And Katie did a great job with your show.
Yeah, thanks for handling that.
Oh yeah, she was fired up and ready and prepped, and every day had something exciting to talk about. And she did preface her show each and every day with she doesn't have the knowledge that you've got, but she tried doing her best. So,
Well, that's all we can do.
but she did have Holly on a time, and that
Nice.
that went really good. So, and did you listen to us at all while you were over there?
I listened to a few minutes here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How was it?
sounded
Did it
good.
sound good?
Yeah,
Yeah. I get the amazing technology these days, right?
yeah, pretty
So,
wild.
good deal, good deal. Well, I know we need to reiterate your whole thing. I know you talked a little bit about your vacation on and Colin's wedding on your show, but it was nice to watch you on the flight tracker come back.
There you go.
You
Yeah,
know, coming back. So, um, yeah, yeah, you were going
yeah,
521 miles an hour.
that's crazy.
So yeah, that was
I'll say
pretty nifty to say the least.
this
And
the way back I did get to take a few little siestas.
oh, did you?
Yeah, the
That's
way
always
there
good.
was just no, I could not sleep at all.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. All my training was for nothing.
All your training was for. Well, I don't know. Mentally, it was probably
Maybe
good training,
maybe
right?
once I got there it paid off, but yeah, it was gosh, going there was just brutal.
Was it?
Yeah. I was sore and I mean you're sitting there for 7.5 hours just sitting.
Yeah.
I did get up
Did
one
are
time.
the planes like that go international like that? Do they have more leg room for
Nope.
you?
Nope. As far as I could tell, it was the
Was
same
it?
seats and same everything, yeah.
So unless you pay for it, you're
Unless you
not.
pay, yeah. It was well that was for yeah, the
The next
highest
option was
tier
3,000
the
more.
highest tier was 3,000 more per ticket. Um, the next level up I think was like 800 more per ticket.
So what'd that give you though?
The 800 per ticket was like more recline. You had a little bit more space, a little bit more legroom, stuff like that. Then I think it was just kind of like amenity stuff, like
Was it one of
different
those double
physical stuff.
decker planes?
This was not, no.
Okay.
It had two seats, four seats in the middle, and then two seats on the other aisle.
Oh, okay.
So it was big. It was a lot of people and very big, but it wasn't a double decker. Um,
I bet it took a minute to take off, didn't it? I
uh,
mean, just to get,
I don't really think there was a big difference.
wasn't it?
No. And on the way back, the flight was so like, or the landing was so smooth, I couldn't even tell that we landed.
Really?
Yeah, we had no bounce or
I'm
whatever.
sure they probably got the best of the best flying those big ones like
Probably
that.
so.
But we were talking about wonder yesterday when we were watching you fly back, on Flight Tracker,
Yeah.
like how much pilot knowledge is actually used, like
On
once they get up, they probably autopilot it till they,
probably a lot of that, and then just looking at like, I would assume conditions,
yeah.
stuff like
We
that.
watched y'all fly over and around some weather.
Really?
Yeah. There was a big, like they showed your projected arc, if you will.
Yeah.
And then there was it was a long, low pressure system with thunderstorms.
Yeah.
And y'all, I don't know how far, there wasn't a scale on it to let us know what you
How many
deviated,
miles and
but
stuff.
you could just see you all got off your arc and went right in a,
That's
is
interesting
and
because
stayed
was it
above,
around like a halfway point at all, close to ish? Do you remember?
uh, probably, it was, yeah, more
Okay.
toward the,
Because
like maybe the 25 or 30% route.
it seemed like we got to like 4.5 hours, and then it was like always 4.5 hours.
No, it was just, you were out over the ocean,
Yeah.
but it was not that far into it yet.
Gotcha.
And I thought, man, that's pretty cool, man. When you see them actually go around,
Do the
it
thing.
was still raining underneath. There was still, but the heavier and the
Was
colored
underneath.
stuff was to y'all's left,
Wow.
flying back. So
Huh.
that was pretty neat.
Yeah. It's
So
kind of cool to watch it too on the screen when you're flying to see where you're over. And
yeah, that
uh,
is nice now.
yeah, I'll
Let's see
say
that.
maybe on the way back, I did get up a few more times. Just stood up for a few seconds and things like
Did they
that.
feed you on an
Yeah,
8 hour flight?
we had on the first flight there, we had two meals. We had dinner and then breakfast, small breakfast. And then on the way back, we just had one meal. But
I
it
got you.
was it was good. It was like a pasta or chicken option. Got the pasta, and you got pasta, and then this kind of like a side thing, and you got like a little dessert, and then like a little sleeve of crackers, like two crackers.
Oh,
So it was good. It
very
was
cool.
filling. And then they come around like two or three times for drinks and snacks and stuff too.
Yeah, nice, good deal. Well, John Stuber said, "Welcome back, Daniel son."
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's
Doug also said, "Welcome back, Daniel."
yeah, it's thanks. It's good
Yeah.
to be
Good morning, Doug. Thanks for tuning us in, buddy. Appreciate that. So,
it's good to feel like you don't have to worry about like stuff getting stolen out of your pockets.
was a
Because I had my kind of, fanny pack thing on.
yeah.
It wasn't really a fanny pack because it didn't like, wasn't bulky or anything, but it was just a little pouch for like credit card and passport and stuff like that. And I wore it under my shirt. So
Oh, I gotcha.
yeah,
Was there like did they warn you about stuff like that?
yeah, kind of. If you do your research, it'll tell you to like be careful and cautious for
Yeah.
pickpocketers. And it's funny because when I went to New York for the first time, or the only time, I guess, I didn't think about it. I just had
Yeah.
my stuff regular. I mean, I'm sure if you look it up, it's like, oh, be careful and whatever. But going to Paris, I just kind of was a little bit more cautious, just because you're in a different country. And
What was it like sleeping in your own bed last night?
good. I will say I woke up at like 2 o'clock and I had somehow unplugged my phone and it was like on the floor. So I was like, I don't know why I did this, but
Nice. We were talking about or Katie, didn't you talk one day about sleepwalking or something? And I was telling you, s-
oh yeah. Like if I'm apparently so what makes sleepwalking worse is not being like out of your routine. So like not going to sleep at the same time as normal. Alcohol can affect it. And then there was one other thing. It might have been location, like sleeping in a different location, but there's like two or three, four things that can affect it. Um, yeah, I can definitely be a sleepwalker, talker, snakes in the bed, brushing the bed.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember you doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Interesting.
so you were our topic of discussion quite a bit,
Oh,
So,
nice. I
anyways,
got to watch, Katie, I got to watch Harry Potter 2, 3, and 4 on the plane yesterday. And then I watched part of the movie Hitch.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
sounds like a big time, big time.
Yeah, it
Got
was
to do something to pass 8 hours, right?
yeah. And well, I couldn't get my Spotify to download stuff that I could listen to.
Oh, really?
So on the way, actually on my next flight from Detroit to here, I listened to the same podcast like 4 times. So I had something to
Did you go under at Detroit? Did y'all
I
have to
think
change concourses?
no, but we did go downstairs escalator,
Did
and
y'all
there
see
was
that
like
thing I was telling you about, the tunnel you
maybe
walk under?
it was like a tunnel for
Kind of
sure.
dark, and
Yeah.
there's like little fish looks on the
Okay. I
sides.
think we did go through that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Always like that about Detroit's airport.
Yeah. It was
It's kind of different, you know.
yeah.
But anyways, hey, well, we're glad to have you back. We tried to keep your desk all cleaned up and dust it and
Thank you.
make it look like hey you were still here, and welcome you back for sure. And you come back to one of the biggest football games,
Yeah.
the high school football games in the country. I know you talked about it a little bit, but I want to talk a little bit about. But Mike said his daughter sleep talks.
Nice.
You know, said she. Let's see, what's he got there? Let me bring that up. Something about last night she did. She actually sleep screamed last night.
Oh,
She
nice.
kept yelling, "No, no, I'm hungry, I'm hungry."
Oh my gosh.
There you go,
That's funny.
Katie's. What do you think, Catherine? Be a sleep eater. Katie talked about people that sleep eat.
Oh, yeah, I have a friend that does that. Peyton sleep eats.
Does he really?
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta walk your food up.
That's crazy, man. Oh my God, that is too funny. But so, Mike, I'm sure y'all got her squared away and feed that kid, man. Golly, feed that kid. Go out and do another aeration job or something. Trim some hedges so you can buy that kid something to eat. Holy shnikes! But yeah, I'm looking forward to a St. X Trinity game tonight. And you local guys listening to us, I know we got some local listeners as well. Um, maybe you'll be out there. I don't know.
Yeah. Come see
Yeah,
the profit tent.
yeah. There you go. Not taking the RV. I,
Yeah.
I, gosh, be a perfect year for that. Be a perfect year for that. But weather-wise, anyway. Other than the fact they kind of chipped us out of 2 hours of tailgating.
I heard about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they used to open the parking lot at 3 o'clock so you could get out there and tailgate. Game was at 8. And it was just fun. It was a lot of camaraderie could go on, but they said, well, there was too much underage drinking.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and
don't
that
think having less time is going to solve that problem,
no,
personally. I
no,
don't think so.
no. I was talking to Holly last night about it, and she said it's probably just going to cause people to party
And
beforehand
then drive
and then
in.
drive out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like Kyle said, go find a local B Dubs or something, and then come out. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you put two Catholic schools together, you're going to have some alcohol consumption.
Right.
I'm not condoning underage drinking. I'm just saying manage the issue.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
manage the issue.
I think it was like an easy way to just do something without doing it.
So it's a whole lot easier to take it away from everybody,
Yeah.
than to. But anyway, we're not going down that road. We just make it to okay. You get 15 minutes to get in the game. Hurry. There will be no peeing, drinking Coca-Cola, no nachos. God. Kyle tried getting our tickets, Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was a project because now you got to get them through online.
Yeah.
You can't get a paper ticket
I
any
remember
longer.
that transition.
They transitioned to that several years ago. But and this is where okay, well let's talk profit time for a minute. This is where when you make changes in your business, make sure the change is good for your customer too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and maybe at the collegiate level, that's okay. But at the high school level, I think, I don't know.
Well, how much money are they losing because you had to go over to the ticket office at the school, and so you're over there, might as well get a shirt, might as well get this, get the earrings, get the
yeah,
pom poms.
everything else that,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, yeah, the auxiliary cells,
yeah.
I hear you, Stephen West. Stephen West says, what good Catholic doesn't drink? And Southern Baptist too. True that.
It's
But
pretty crazy.
anyways, but uh, unreal, unreal. But anyway, we're looking forward to tonight, and not just to go out there. Nobody's going to go out there and get wasted. Hey, it's just a good time. Weather's going to be great. We're going to have some good food, and just to name it, tailgating food. It'll be there. We'll have it. And if you happen to see us, feel free to stop by, and we'll certainly feed you and give you a bottled water or something. So, um, or whatever kind of libation you may be interested in. So, but no, yeah, we got Capri Suns. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And got some Gatorade Zeros or whatever them things are. And some healthy snacks and some not so healthy snacks. So, with that being said, it is one of my favorite days of the year. And it couldn't be any more better weather wise. And let's knock on wood and hope God keeps us all safe, out there, getting home. And most importantly, we have a good football game and we kick Sinex's butt. I'd love to just blow them out. It'd be really nice to beat them by about 20, 30 points. We just never seem to be able to blow them out, you know? But, anyways, it's all right. As long as you win, so as long as you win, it's like your business. It's like your business. Let's see. Mike said he's been Irish Catholic his whole life. Of course you have. If you, well, not maybe. People change everything else. My advice: mix in water every 3 or 4 drinks, and you'll be fine. True that. Stay hydrated, and that's a bad thing about alcohol. Daniel had to step away for a minute, but the alcohol doesn't hydrate you; it actually dehydrates you. So got to think about that too. So, Mike, that's good words of advice. Sharing that with us. So, Mike, Seth told us, he said he can also relate the good feeling of sleeping in his own bed after a long trip. They slept in tents out there in Colorado. So the first time he hit his bed, he just started laughing. It was amazing. Man, I hear you, Seth. I feel you. It's kind of like, you just lay down and you're like, oh man, this feels good. This feels good. So I appreciate y'all letting me get off tangent a little bit today, because we've had a pretty serious work week and pretty serious conversations Monday and Wednesday on business activities and whatnot. And we're going to talk today about it a little bit, but I did want to touch on the game just a little bit, and I wanted to touch on the business side of Aaron Walls. The Purple Walrus is back in business with his hot dog cart today from 11 to 2 in Owensboro at Home Depot. So, yeah, go see him. Go see him. He's going to some good dogs there, no doubt about it. And trying that new cart for the first time. And looking forward to hooking up with him somewhere in the future at a fall festival that he's doing and getting me another hot dog. Heck, it's a good road trip. You get to see a fall festival. Most importantly, get to see Purple Walrus. So, yeah, get to see Wally. So, yeah, that's what's going on with that. And, hey, I want to let you guys know, too, that are in the Profit Circle with us. And our Monday, September 26th, Daniel will be getting that link out to you today. We're having our monthly Zoom meeting, our summary of the month on, what's covered and any questions anybody's got and that whole thing like we always do. We'd love to have you guys in with us. So be sure to check it out. Get involved in the Profit Circle with us. You can do that simply by going to patreon.com/the profit circle, or you go to our website at profitsorus.com. That's profits, AREUS.com. And right at the top of our homepage is the profit circle. And join in, try it, get a 7-day wide open free trial. It's not limited access to any of it. You can see what it's really about. We don't dangle a carrot out there and say, well, if you had full access, this is what you'd see, or this is what you got access to. So it's a lot of exclusive content. We go in depth on a lot of things that we cover within the profit circle, and not just us. It's not just content from us at Profits Unlimited, but it's content from a lot of different professionals, a lot of different industries across the country, as well as insurance and marketing and God, just fill in the blank on what it is. Actually, in October, one of our members, John, up there in Pennsylvania, they're going to talk about robotic mowing and how they implement it into their business and how you can easily implement it into yours. So, yeah, be sure to join us. Again, just go to Profits or Us. That's profitsareus.com and get in the profit circle with us. And we'd love to have you. So, with that being said, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with more profit time. We got our retainers and all sent out, and it's kind of funny, guys. I always say, man, it's September. Yeah, that's right. It is September. There's no sense in waiting to October or November, you know, or December. I mean, regardless of your market, we're probably not going to get snow till December, mid-December at the earliest here, but we don't want to be chasing contracts. And actually, they weren't contract renewals. Our contract's ongoing from year to year, but unless somebody cancels, we'll talk about that on a different show. But um, the reality of it is we do go ahead and get those retainers out, offer a prepay opportunity on retainers if they want to do that. And we go from that standpoint. So, and we'll talk about that whole process on another show too, and how we do our retainer deposits and prioritize accounts and things like that. But I did see on social media, since we're talking about snow a little bit now, yesterday, a guy put up, he said, what's the average price per push for Dunkin' Donuts in your area? And I mean, here we go. It's kind of like, when we start mowing in the year, right? And go, hey, what do y'all charge to cut a normal yard? What do you charge, to put a yard of mulch down? You just get the same questions over and over and over again. And we like the questions. Absolutely. We like the questions. I like to see them. And the funny thing is, it came in as an anonymous member. And I mean, I never have understood that. When I was running our youth baseball and softball league, and we would get, I don't want to call it hearsay. When somebody says, well, somebody said, and then they followed up with it, well, somebody said needs to bring it up, put a name to it. Don't be embarrassed. Don't put an anonymous member. Don't be embarrassed to ask a question. If you don't know what you don't know, that's okay. But the reality of it is, I just, my answer to it, guys were telling him, hey, in our area it goes for 150, in our area it goes for 95, and ours it's 275, and they had all these numbers are attaching to it. Why don't we just all learn that you establish your minimum based on your cost per hour of operation and calculate cost per hour of operation? We talked about that Wednesday, so we're not for snow specifically, but just understanding how important it is for you to calculate cost per hour of operation for your company. And don't say, well, it's close enough. I just said establish your minimum, use that for your basis on your jobs. Increase the cost based on the size. So we look at size, efficiency factor of the job, and the desired profit margin on the job. That's how you price the job. I don't care if my competitors are charging $500 for a Dunkin' Donut. First of all, I'm not doing any work like that. It's my opinion.
You should have commented back. I just get reimbursed in donuts.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say that, Daniel, because I said that's why we don't fool with fast food generally. You know, they want to pay with gift cards or they come in and eat and they will give you a gift card. No, I want dead presidents. You pay me with dead presidents, not literally dead presidents. We've got to be careful how we say that these days. But no, yeah, FBI be over here. They'll pay me with $20 bills and $100 bills. That's cold hard cash. That's how we want to be paid.
Sure, cash.
But I do want to publicly put something out here. I want to thank Arby's, Taco Bell, and damn, I've done forgot one of them. I can't believe it. Arby's, Taco Bell, Burger King. I think that was the third for saving Wayne's snow and ice management business because we were doing, and when I say we, my brother and I, Corky, when we first started doing snow, we were doing, I don't know, probably 30 of them in Louisville, along with some other things. And it was the worst work possible. They all wanted to be first. Nobody, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing. If we'd had social media, we'd been on there saying, hey, what do y'all charge doing Arby's? What do you charge to do at Burger King? What do you charge to do at Taco Bell? What do you charge to do anything? But we'd have been these guys. So I'm not making fun of these guys. I'm just saying you got the resources now to go out and get help and find help. Good God, take advantage of it.
Yeah, look in the right places.
Look at the right places. What's that Tommy Boy thing? If you want a good look at a T-bone, you can stick your head up a cow's ass, or you can just go to the store and get one, that's already cut and filleted and ready to go. I mean, stop sticking your head up the cow's butt and go to the store where it's right. And social media is not the store. I'm just going to say that. Social media is not the store. A lot of these jokers that are on social media are not the right platform for you. Now, I'm not criticizing everybody, and I'm not saying you got to use Profits Unlimited. I don't care who you use, but use somebody, and then you can determine, hey, is that good knowledge or bad knowledge? If you implement something somebody says and it works and it's profitable for you, by gosh, there's more than one way to skin the cat, But, the reality of it is, you don't say, what are y'all getting to do this? Because even if you and I are in the same market, our break even points are going to be different. Our use rates are going to be different. Our trigger points are going to be different. We need to do a snow and ice management webinar again. Not just we'll do it in the profit circle, but we need to open it up again to get these guys the help that they need. I mean, just the reality of it, Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this is it. I can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking my head up a bull's ass, but I'd rather take a butcher's word for it. That is it. That's it. Go to the right source. Don't worry what everybody else is doing and establish your minimum because snow, there is a lot of profit dollars available in snow. And, y'all heard Katie just talking about magic salt, right before this. I mean, that is one of the better moves we made with our business was switching to that product. Actually, I was introduced to that product in Poughkeepsie, New York. Actually, I was doing a seminar in a location called Fishkill, New York, and I ran into John and his team there in Fishkill, New York, and then I met Tim Brennan, who's in Schenectady, New York, who's on our show sometimes. He's a distributor or dealer for that product as well. And it really is a great product and, absolutely worth taking a look at for your company. But kind of got off tangent just a little bit there again, Daniel. But the reality of it is, we're getting into that season. It's snow estimator time. and Daniel, I know you're promoting that on our social media, but promote it hard. Now, guys, it's that time of the year, you
Yeah.
know. So we'll promote it hard. And but if you guys are not confident in how you're bidding your snow and ice management jobs, we've got an outstanding snow estimator that I will say is second to none in the industry. I know it is. It's accurate. We've got companies all over the country and Canada that have given us their feedback on it, and and using it, and says it works, and what makes ours different than a lot of them that are out there. And I don't want this to be a commercial. I want this to be education for you, so you can decide on what's best for your company. Is a lot of them out there. First of all, they don't show you how to calculate cost per hour for a truck, a skid steer, a pusher, whatever type, a four wheeler with a plow that you're doing sidewalks with, or what's that, snow raider, the boss has, or whatever equipment you're using. A lot of it, hey, enter your cost per hour, and here's what you need to charge after you enter a few square footage and a few things. The basis has to be, what does it cost you based on your overhead, your use rates, and your desired profit margins? That's where it all starts. And then it goes into square footage. Then it goes into trigger points. Then it goes into efficiency factor of the job. Another way of saying that is level of difficulty of the job, because an acre's not an acre. Kyle was looking at a place yesterday, and he said, "Man, the efficiency factor on this job's going to." Daniel, this is pretty cool. It was under an acre, but the efficiency on this job was going to be probably 25% at an average ground speed of about 4 or 5 miles an hour on equipment, because it was just 4 parking spots here, around a tree, around a landscape, 10 parking spots there. And it was like a church and a school is what it amounted to. They had very little open plowing, if
Mm.
you will, So that's where, when guys say, well, what do you charge to plow an acre? Or what do you charge to plow a lane mile? Or, whatever it is, it's what are the variables involved? And a lot of the software out there forces you into selecting a job type that has a predetermined efficiency factor assigned to it, which means, well, this is 70% efficiency. I'm just making a number up. Hey, a property type A may be a 80% efficiency. Property type B may be a 65% efficiency. Property type C might be a 50% efficiency, but it's predetermined. Ours allows you to change your efficiency or level of difficulty of the job in 5% increments, and not mass increment changes for efficiency, because it doesn't make a huge difference on a 20,000 square foot parking lot that you're doing, or a 40,000 square foot parking lot, or 2 acre. But when you start doing 5 and 10 and 15 acres, or 5 lane miles, then yeah, that difference becomes a big difference in a hurry. And, that's something a lot of people don't think about, Daniel, is that side of it. How big that difference is, and how much that affects the price on the job, and 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 the cost on the to get the job done. I mean, that's just the reality of it. So just something to think about, was, snow's they're all, each service we offer is its own, bear, if you will. But the reality of it is, there's decent money to be made in it. But the first thing we got to do is start off with understanding, what's it really cost to do the job. So with that being said, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more Profit Time here on Turfs Up Radio. Funny things that clients say and do, basically. And Daniel, get your input on some of these things. And I don't think it's always done with necessarily ill intent, if you will, on the consumer side. But it's like when you get there and they get into the, since you were here, it's
Mm-hmm.
like we were talking the other day. Jeopardy was talking about a client that, said, hey, we were doing their front, it was a front yard only on a spray. And they're like, since you're here, can you go ahead and do this left side for me? And she did it. which was the right move to make. But I don't know. It's just kind of funny that, hey, if you want something sprayed, man, it's not that big of a deal, just add the square footage. Why do people always want to approach somebody? And I shouldn't say always, that's probably not fair. What do you think it is? What do
I
you think
think
it is?
it's partially, I think there's two mindsets generally. Like, since you were here, meaning I want it done for free, but also since you're here, can you just do this for me?
Yes,
Sometimes, and maybe, I don't know if it's 50-50, but some people just want something done. They don't mind paying for it. And
since
that's
you're
where
here.
you have to be, stay in your ground as the person that's there, or the business, or whatever your policies are, and have something in place, train yourself or train whoever's out there to say in a
Professional way.
professional and in a like a in a way that doesn't come across as like, yeah, sure, but you're going to pay for it. Like, you don't want to say it like
Right.
that.
Yeah,
So,
be happy to do it. And this is what it'll cost.
yeah, this will
Let me
just be an
measure it. And this is
additional
what it'll
X amount
cost
of
to do.
dollars. Yeah, for
Yeah.
whatever service. That's an important, how you say it. I was actually, it's funny talking about that because I mentioned that movie Hitch on the plane yesterday, and I don't know if this is real statistics or not, but he was saying like 20% of communication is tone of voice,
Yeah.
and then like
That's interesting.
another 50% is something else. But like it was like 10% of what you say, and like, or 10% of communication was the true words you say. So like make
Yes.
that a part of your training of like telling people it's going to cost more, but doing it in a way that makes people not put off,
Yeah. And hearing it, like,
hearing
yeah,
it.
we'd be happy to help you with that. And let me get it measured real quick. And would you like to add it just today, or, would you like us to add it ongoing?
Yeah.
You
Yeah. It's
know,
about how you present it.
and my mom used to always say that to me. She said, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a perfect illustration of what I think, what you're talking about. So they're not always wanting something free. Corey said he had one yesterday. He said, since you were here, do you mind cleaning out the garden bed? You know, I don't, maybe he had time to do it. Maybe he didn't,
Yeah.
you know. Just curious, Corey, how'd it work out?
Yeah.
I mean, did you have time to do it? Did you do it, or was it something that needed to be scheduled? You know, uh,
I think a lot of people, though, on the other side do think, okay, well, it's just time. I'm not paying. They're not going to have to use any more equipment or
yeah,
supplies, so it's just time. I shouldn't have to pay for it. That's some people's mindset too.
right, right.
But if you had a painter out, you wouldn't be like, oh, since you're here painting the kitchen, can you go ahead and paint the whole downstairs too?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, go. Can you do my bathroom while you're here? We didn't talk about it, but
Yeah.
can you go ahead and add the bathroom? You know, but I think that is it too. A lot of times we assume, and we know what the word assume does when you break it up, right? But we assume that they want it done for free when a lot of times they're to your point, they're willing to pay. They just would, hey, can you do it while you're here just to get it done, kind of thing. And I've caught myself doing contractors that way, you
Yeah.
know, and I didn't want it for free. It's just like, man, can you do this while you're here,
Yeah.
kind of thing. It'd be a great business name, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Since you're here,
There you go.
since you're
Get
here,
the since you're here.com.
since you're here.com. But Corey said, no, it was a group home and nobody planned on paying. They
Uh,
just wanted to get it done. So it does happen. Now, John makes a good point. He said, if you're in a restaurant and you say, while I'm here, I'll go ahead and have a dessert, you're paying for that,
yeah.
you know, and that's valid.
Yeah.
That's
I think it
valid.
does go back a lot of times to people don't value your time. They don't put a value on it the way that you do as a business, but they can understand that things have a cost.
Right. That's right. That's good. And, Mike brings up a point along with that. He says, they're just as nervous to ask as we are to tell them it costs more. And that goes back to something my dad taught me in selling. And he said, the prospect is just as nervous about telling you no as you are finding out the answer is yes. And I think that is a valid illustration of that same exact point my dad used to talk about, Mike, and very valid. Um, time's money, and even though hey, can you do that while you're here, even though it may not require any additional mulch or any different rock or any additional material of any type, your time is valuable. And that's where it goes back to knowing the value of your time, knowing your cost per labor hour, and just on a labor standpoint, what's that labor cost? And that's when it makes those easy decisions a whole lot easier. you know it's like Kyle went to see somebody. He was telling me a story, Daniel. I think it was one day last week. We got a referral from one of the nurseries around here. They refer us out a lot of times, and down here, down the street from us, and guy needed to get a crepe myrtle uh, dealt with, this fall, and he was just asking. Kyle told him on the phone, "Yeah, we can come take a look at that and the other work that he wanted done." And Kyle told him our minimum, basically our show up minimum is what it amounts to. And when he got there, the guy's like, can you change can you do it for less? And Kyle's like, no, I told you our minimum, this is our minimum. He said, well, I thought since it was just going to be just a couple plants you had to do something with, you could do it for less. At what point does the consumer listen? That's the real question. I mean, and that's
Yeah.
going to be different
Well, I
for
think there's people who
everybody.
always want to negotiate too,
Yeah.
like that's just how they do things.
Yeah. It's like, here, let's talk about popping you upside the head and find out why you don't listen or read. And I want to bring that up, and then we'll wrap our show up for today, because we got Darren Gruner and Steve Cohen coming on right after us today. But power seating and aeration, oh my God, we do the job. We leave. If the customer's home, we talk to them. It's just part of what we do. We knock on the door and talk to them, walk through the process of watering and maintenance, give them a physical hand copy of care and maintenance directions, email them with their proposal the same care and maintenance directions, and email them with their invoice when the work is completed the same care and maintenance directions about how to water, how often to water, what it's going to look like, about coming in patchy and thicker around the edges than it does in the center, because the center is done with a calibrated machine and the edges are done with a hand tiller, and all that. And then invariably, well, just the other day I got an email from a guy. He said, hey, my backyard's coming in pretty good, but my front's not doing too much. And so I looked his date that we renovated the lawn, and it was like 8 days earlier. And I just asked him, I said, Mr. Smith, please refer to your care and maintenance directions, but here's what's going on. Hey, we like 21 to 28 days. If you see your care and maintenance directions, things are going to, and it's right on our sheet that we give them that says, this is, I'm reading it to you guys. Grass will germinate heavy in some areas, while other areas will show no sign of germination. This is normal. Rest assured that other areas will germinate and catch up as long as you continue with the watering described below. It's not hard. People make it hard. And after that, what we've talked about, Daniel, while you were gone, is on the bottom of our care and maintenance direction sheet that we got, maybe adding, I'd like to get y'all's opinion on this. God, I've less than a minute. But we're thinking about adding something at the very bottom that says, thanks for reading our care and maintenance directions. Reach out to our office for a $50 gift card for future services at WLS, just to see who's reading these.
Yeah.
And so what's it mean? When they call, it means they know they're supposed to water. They know when we want them to mow it. And also what we're telling them is we're giving them an opportunity to buy something else from us. So
Hmm.
that's we get two advantages out of it. One, they read it. Now, does it mean they'll do it? Maybe not. But we know they read it because they called and asked for the prize that was in the bottom of the Cracker Jacks box. You know, but I don't know. I think I think we're going to do it. And it's a win-win for us. It's really a win-win for them
Yeah.
too.
Another thing, instead of putting it at the bottom, because maybe somebody's eyes scroll to the bottom before the middle, is
Yeah,
putting it in the middle.
put it in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
like
talk
Katie did
about
with
it.
her essay or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
Katie did that in high school with a teacher one time. She was like, I wonder if they're reading all these. So she put something in the middle. What was it, Katie? Like, if you're reading all these, circle it or something, and she put that in the middle of an essay. And it was funny when Mom and I went in for parent teacher conferences. He told us about it, and he said, Katie did the funniest thing. I've never had it done in all my years of teaching. And he told us about that. But uh, that was a good thing. Katie's like, I wonder if he's really reading everybody's.
I
And
think we've all had that suspicion about
yeah,
English teachers reading hundreds of papers.
yeah, true that. So the,
Mm,
Katie's giving us a little discussion on it now.
no,
My God, it's 11:01. We need to row. But anyway, hey, we'll talk more about these things, funny things customers say on Monday. Daniel, welcome back again.
thank you.
Glad to have you back with us for sure. And appreciate you guys and all your all's input. And I'm just going to hand it over to Darren Greener and Stephen Cohen with their show. We're going to go out quickly. We're going to go out quickly with a different song, though, in honor of Trinity High School whipping some Sinex ass tonight. And that's the way it's going to go. We'll see you guys. Have a safe weekend.